The leaders of China, Japan, and South Korea are poised to meet for their first trilateral summit since the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. This gathering, taking place against a backdrop of heightened geopolitical uncertainty, carries immense significance for the future of East Asia and the wider world. The summit offers a crucial platform for these three pivotal nations to address pressing challenges, explore avenues for cooperation, and navigate the complex web of economic interdependence and strategic rivalry that defines their relationship. The outcome of this summit will be closely watched by world leaders and analysts alike, as it has the potential to shape the regional and global landscape for years to come. The stakes are high as the summit comes at a time of escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula. North Korea's relentless pursuit of its nuclear and ballistic missile programs, coupled with its increasingly provocative actions, has raised alarm bells across the region. The international community's response, spearheaded by the United States, has included a series of stringent sanctions aimed at curbing Pyongyang's nuclear ambitions. However, these measures have done little to deter North Korea, which continues to defy international pressure and escalate its saber-rattling. Adding to the complexity is the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, which has further strained relations between Russia and the West. The conflict has also exposed the deep divisions within the international community over issues such as sanctions, military aid, and the very principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. These divisions have spilled over into the Asia-Pacific, complicating efforts to forge a united front against North Korea's nuclear provocations. Against this volatile backdrop, the Trilateral Summit offers a glimmer of hope. It presents an opportunity for China, Japan, and South Korea to set aside their differences, however deep-seated they may be, and engage in constructive dialogue. The summit's success will depend on the willingness of all three leaders to prioritize diplomacy and cooperation over confrontation and zero-sum calculations. At the top of the agenda for the Trilateral Summit is the economy. China, Japan, and South Korea are economic powerhouses, collectively accounting for a significant portion of global GDP. Their economies are deeply intertwined, with intricate supply chains linking their industries and robust trade flows driving growth. The COVID-19 pandemic, however, exposed the vulnerabilities of this interconnectedness, disrupting supply chains and impacting economic activity across the region. The summit presents an opportunity for the three countries to strengthen their economic ties and enhance their resilience to future shocks. Areas of potential cooperation include trade facilitation, infrastructure development, and digital innovation. By working together, these three economic giants can create new engines of growth, not just for themselves, but for the entire Asia-Pacific region. However, economic cooperation exists alongside intense competition. China's rise as an economic powerhouse has challenged Japan's long-held position as the region's leading economy. South Korea, meanwhile, finds itself navigating the complexities of maintaining close economic ties with both China, its largest trading partner, and the United States, its security guarantor. These competing dynamics will need to be carefully managed if the summit is to yield meaningful economic outcomes. Moreover, the global economic outlook remains uncertain, clouded by inflationary pressures, supply chain disruptions, and geopolitical risks. The ongoing war in Ukraine, the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, and the specter of a global recession all pose significant challenges to economic growth and stability. The Trilateral Summit offers a platform for China, Japan, and South Korea to coordinate their economic policies and present a united front in the face of these global headwinds. Beyond the immediate economic concerns, the Trilateral Summit offers an important platform for China, Japan, and South Korea to address the pressing global challenge of climate change. As major economies and significant emitters of greenhouse gases, these three countries have a shared responsibility to contribute to global efforts to mitigate climate change and transition to a more sustainable future. The summit provides an opportunity for them to reaffirm their commitment to the Paris Agreement and to explore concrete steps to accelerate the implementation of their climate pledges. Cooperation on climate change could take various forms, from joint research and development of clean energy technologies to sharing best practices on emissions, reduction, and climate adaptation. Collaboration in areas such as renewable energy deployment, carbon capture and storage, and sustainable transportation could yield significant economic and environmental benefits for all three countries. Additionally, the summit could serve as a springboard for a regional approach to tackling climate change, encouraging greater cooperation among East Asian nations on this critical issue. However, achieving meaningful progress on climate change will require overcoming significant political and economic hurdles. All three countries are heavily reliant on fossil fuels, and transitioning to a low-carbon economy will require substantial investments and policy reforms. Moreover, there are differing perspectives on the pace and scale of climate action, with China, as a developing country, arguing for greater flexibility and support from developed nations. The Trilateral Summit provides an opportunity for leaders to bridge these differences and demonstrate their commitment to a sustainable future. By showcasing their willingness to cooperate on climate change, China, Japan, and South Korea can set a positive example for other countries in the region and contribute to building a more sustainable and resilient global economy. Looming large over the Trilateral Summit is the persistent threat posed by North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. Pyongyang's continued defiance of international norms, coupled with its recent barrage of missile tests, has heightened tensions on the Korean peninsula and beyond. The summit provides a critical opportunity for China, Japan, and South Korea to coordinate their approaches to this shared security challenge and explore ways to revive the stalled denuclearization talks. While differences remain over the best way to deal with North Korea, the three countries share a common interest in maintaining peace and stability on the Korean peninsula. China, as North Korea's largest trading partner and a traditional ally, holds significant leverage over Pyongyang. Japan and South Korea, on the other hand, face the most direct threat from North Korea's missile program. The summit provides a forum for these three key players to bridge their differences and present a united front in the face of North Korean aggression. However, navigating the complexities of the North Korea issue will require delicate diplomacy and a willingness to compromise. China has been reluctant to fully enforce international sanctions against North Korea, fearing the potential for instability on its border. Japan and South Korea, meanwhile, have called for a tougher stance against Pyongyang, including increased sanctions and military deterrence. Finding common ground on these sensitive issues will be essential if the summit is to make any headway on the North Korea problem. Adding to the complexity is the increasing rivalry between the United States and China, which has spilled over into the security realm. The Biden administration's Indo-Pacific strategy, seen by some as an attempt to contain China's growing influence, has further complicated regional dynamics. The Trilateral Summit offers an opportunity for China, Japan, and South Korea to navigate these great power rivalries and find ways to cooperate on regional security issues without exacerbating tensions. Section 5. The China Factor: Balancing Engagement with Containment. China's rise as a global power casts a long shadow over the Trilateral Summit. Its growing economic and military might, coupled with its assertive foreign policy in recent years, has raised concerns among its neighbors, including Japan and South Korea. The summit will test the ability of these three countries to manage their complex relationships with China, balancing the need for cooperation with the imperative of safeguarding their own interests. On the one hand, there is a strong economic rationale for engagement with China. As the world's second-largest economy and a major trading partner for both Japan and South Korea, China offers significant economic opportunities. Cooperation with China on issues such as trade, investment, and infrastructure development is seen as essential for continued economic growth and prosperity in the region. On the other hand, there are growing concerns about China's assertiveness in the region, particularly its maritime claims in the East and South China Seas, its military modernization, and its crackdown on dissent in Hong Kong. These actions have raised concerns about China's long-term intentions and its commitment to the rules-based international order. The Trilateral Summit will require Japan and South Korea to walk a fine line, seeking to deepen economic ties with China while also pushing back against its more assertive behavior. This delicate balancing act will require close coordination between Tokyo and Seoul, as well as with their other partners, particularly